We are taking care of that.
In what sense? I mean, we're cutting from social programs like that.
Well, we are cutting for things that I think that the government understand that they have to cut. So, I mean, we're paying hotels to immigrants that are living in this country. Can we do a parade or not?
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan. East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up. Okay, hello. This is Ashley Bishop with Status Coup. John Farina and I are in D.C. like we said we would be. We are outside of Trump's military parade where there are counter-protesters. Further back behind us, we just walked away from a smaller, like No King's Day-ish kind of protest. And now we're walking alongside a line of counter-protesters that are here, you know, protesting the Trump MAGA supporters who have come out to see the military parade birthday bash today.
Trump is a fascist! Total bitch! Trump the total
The Trump administration has made a lot of their directive, saving money and cutting government waste and all of that kind of stuff. So I would just ask you, how do you feel about us spending upwards of like $143 million on this parade that, you know, it lasts for a day and then it's gone. I would wonder how that fits in with a framework of cutting waste and being more efficient.
The people voted for Trump. We are okay spending that kind of money. We are not okay spending money on things that we don't know.
What would you mean as far as things that we don't know? What would that be for you?
We want me to go back, paying people for doing things we don't know where they're doing. Like USAID, just spending money on things that we don't know in other countries.
What about things like Medicaid and Medicare and social services that give like money to food banks?
We are taking care of that.
In what sense? I mean, we're cutting from social programs like that.
Well, we are cutting for things that I think that the government understand that they have to cut. So, I mean, we're paying hotels to immigrants that are living in this country. Can we do a parade or not? I mean, it's just...
All right. Thank you. All right. So military parades, yes. Social programs are something that we don't know. And again, we are outside of the military parade, sort of where people are meeting to hop on the really, really long line to get in. And there are several places where people are protesting.
So I'm Mexican, and well, being Hispanic, I am aware of when corruption's in the government and how it looks like when you have an authoritarian regime, when you have a dictator, and when that's starting to happen, right? And, well, Trump, he's not respecting the orders of the Supreme Court. He's not respecting free speech. He's not respecting many things. There's no one that's putting a stop to his rise to authoritarianship, right? So I gotta come out. I gotta say, you know, stop. Someone has to say that people were opposed to this in the history books. You know.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's important to note, as I'm sure you are aware, this is happening while there are all of these, heavily militarized ICE raids across the country. There have been protests for the last, week and a half now against the heavily militarized ICE raids. How do you feel about being out here protesting a military parade, while we also know that, again, some of these resources are being turned on people in this country who live here, who are part of our communities, who are our loved ones? Does that add an extra layer of, gravity to being out here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we're not protesting the military, right? The military is here, has a job. If we're attacked, they're going to defend us, right? But yeah, the resources that are being used to kick people out illegally a lot of times. Look, I get deportation. I get wanting to kick people out if they're not here legally. But you can do that with humanity. You can do that with empathy, with tact, not with kidnappings. You can do it in many ways, and they're doing it in the most inhumane way possible. Again, I'm Mexican, right? So seeing a lot of people that look like me, right? Or like, yeah, that I identify with them being kicked out in vans, in unmarked vans, in what looks like a governmental kidnapping without any right that they do have, being respected. It's really hard. So, yeah, I'm protesting that. I'm not protesting the military, and I'm not protesting, government agencies or anything like that. Use them correctly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. And if you have not yet joined Status Coup, you should do that. You can become a member for as little as $5 a month at statuscoup.com/join. And for as little as $5 a month, we can keep bringing you more of this on-the-ground coverage that we have been doing all day. So if you want to see more of this, more of our protest coverage, more of our coverage at rallies across the country, Tina is in California right now, also covering the anti-ICE protests. If you want to see more of that, $5 will go a long way for us. It helps to support independent journalism. All right, and police are trying to move everybody back onto the sidewalk, everybody who's counter-protesting here. Aggressively pushing protesters back on the sidewalk, knocked this guy's bike over.
There's a bike there. I didn't want to run into the hole with a bike. Come on.
Are you still speaking? Hold on.
All right, so I'm not sure where I got cut off, guys, but so the cops have been trying to move everybody back onto the sidewalk and knocked over a few protesters. There was a guy with a bike who just got knocked over. Seems like, from what I can see from back here, an unnecessary amount of force.
So yeah, I came here today to represent my dad and any immigrant who's going through the same thing I am, because I am a son of an immigrant. My dad is an immigrant. He came in here to build a better life for himself, and he did. But unfortunately, cancer, a tumor grew in his back, and it came in a time where Trump and Musk came in and destroyed everything we relied on, like Medicaid, Medicare, all the safety net. They want to take it all away. In the worst timing of my life and my father's life and everyone's life right now. And yeah, he deserves to live. That's all, because they're taking it away. He can't work. And, that's all I want, for him to be stable, for the government to finally give a shit about us again, This country used to care about us, and the other side just thought Trump was going to be the answer. It isn't. I don't know. Things used to make sense. That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm so sorry about your dad, and I hope that he's doing well. I guess I would just add, again, like I've spoken to a lot of other people here and asked the same question. This military parade costs upwards. Again, we don't know the exact number, so prefacing that, but upwards of $143 million at the top range of how much we are spending today for a parade that lasts for a few hours. When you are saying this is happening in the midst of cutting social programs that people like your father, your family rely on, extraordinarily so.
It doesn't make any sense. Never in our country's history have we had a president who called for a military parade. Did we win a war? I don't think so. What is there to celebrate about? His birthday? For what? Why should we celebrate his birthday? What did he do? Every time I go up to a Trump supporter, I ask them, what did he do? Oh, save the economy. Gave the tax break, the wealthy tax break. That's insane. He's full of lies. He's full of shit. I'm just frustrated now, And this is just ridiculous. I've never seen a president call for a military parade for something this selfish. This is the most selfish thing you can ask for a military. There's a lot of things a president asks for the soldiers to do. Fight for your country, die for your country. But this guy, he said, no, march for me. That's wrong. It's not in the Constitution. This is illegal.
I do want to support the military. You know, I'm not here to get down on the military, get down on the police. They're doing their jobs. They want to try to get peace. Trump he's just an evil person. He's cruel, and I just, there are no words that can adequately convey the depth of the, I just can't think of what to say right now. I mean, he's just a narcissistic. He's in it for himself. You know, they're tearing down the government, taking food from children and sick people, kicking people off health care. You know, he doesn't care about America. And I just feel sorry. I mean, all the people that are coming by that everybody's yelling at, you know, and I was yelling shame too, because I think it is shameful. But I feel like a certain percentage of those people are just, you know, unfortunately duped. You know, that maybe they're good people have made a very bad decision. And I really fear for what that decision did to our country, the way he tore it down so fast. You know, I really kind of feel like we should mothball, you know, the Statue of Liberty until we, you know, really earn it again. You know, and when, what's her name, Carolyn Levitt or whatever, the press secretary gets that, you know, like, I mean, they're so nasty and dismissive and so, you know, which talks about how, you know, people in France, you know, would be speaking German. If it was, well, you know, the French had a big part in the American Revolution in helping us gain independence. You know, these are just nasty, stupid, small people, you know, that are just in it for themselves. And I just hope people open their eyes.
So I am talking with Jada and Alexandria about why they both showed up today to counter-protest the military parade birthday party that Trump has thrown today. So why did you show up today?
I showed up for my students. I'm a teacher here in D.C. and just watching the impact of Trump's rhetoric and his hate and like all the people that he's just building more and more momentum of hate towards and watching the direct impact on kids. It's always the kids. It's always the kids that suffer. So I'm here for them.
Thank you. And why did you show up today?
I think I showed up for myself and my family to show what good representation looks like. My family was in the military, but they are proud liberals and have always has been. I think weaponizing, like just joining his birthday and this together, I think it's just been a hot mess. I also just don't believe in anything that man has ever stand for. And I also, like, unfortunately knew that he was going to be reelected again. So I'm here and part of, like, you know, I guess hope, but also I think hopeless is given to those who are privileged. And so I think I'm here in, I don't know, the best way that I think I can see fit for myself. The night of the election, I think a lot of people really wanted to think that America wasn't going to vote this man in. And sometimes I think that it's a privilege to believe that. It's a privilege to hope that those things are going to happen. But for me, it was more like, no, this is America that I see and know every day. And I just knew that he was going to be reelected. In my gut, I knew. The first year, maybe not so much because, you know, but this was like, this is America I know. Like, I'm watching people, like, scream and yell. I was in the Bethesda protest earlier, and like I saw like a lot of like white people come out and protest too, which is great. But I wonder if people of color are at home resting because this is America that we know, and like at this point in time, like maybe it is our time to have a seat. So I'm here in solidarity and trying to figure out like where do I stand and seeing my own people not show up because of the exhaustion.